Hello, everyone. I'm San, and you're listening to San's podcast. It's been almost a year since I started this podcast, and nearly 5 years since I've been doing this kind of work in general. What I find most fascinating about this job is that it feels like my youth, my thoughts, even my appearance and perspectives are being preserved over time, allowing me to witness so much change. I've just released a new video titled, How My Life Changed Doing YouTube, where I share a lot about my journey with this work. You can watch that video to learn more about my story. Today, in this podcast, I want to talk to you about the topic. Everyone changes, the important thing is how we change. A few days ago, I ran into an old friend I hadn't seen in ages, probably 7 or 8 years. It was purely by chance, meeting on the street. We exchanged some polite pleasantries, and she suddenly exclaimed, "Wow, you guys are so different now. Extremely different, I barely recognized you." I didn't think she had changed all that much, so I just said, "You too, you look even prettier." Even though I didn't really see a huge change in her, I felt I had to compliment her. That's just how polite conversations go, right? Do you guys do that too? But to be fair, she was prettier than before. Still, overall, she had the same hairstyle, chatted in the same way. Not much difference. As for myself, sometimes when I look back at photos from 7 or 8 years ago, I get a little bit of a shock. But truthfully, there's been so much change over the past few years, especially in the last 3, where my rate of change has been very significant, not just externally, but particularly in my inner world. And I believe that change is essential in life. If after 7, 8, or even 10 years, we haven't changed at all, if we remain stagnant without any further development, that is when we have a problem to think about. But if over time, we change for the better, in a more positive direction, that's a necessary thing so we don't get left behind. Over the past 5 years, I'm so grateful that my videos are still on YouTube. If you go back and watch my old videos, you can clearly see how much I've changed over time. Today, when I came home, I sat down and rewatched each video. Sometimes, I found myself chuckling gleefully and even feeling a little embarrassed. I don't know how I could have talked like that back then, or how I could have been so confident when I look so. What's the word? I don't know. Occasionally, some videos bring tears to my eyes because I feel so touched and grateful to my past self for striving and making every effort to change and become the person I am today. It's precisely through these changes, these differences as I grew up, that I truly feel like I am living, not just existing. Perhaps day by day, we don't clearly recognize our own changes. But every time we look back 6 months, a year, 2 years, or many years, we will clearly see the changes or the lack thereof. There are some people who don't change much, but most of us, living this life, go through so many eventful stories, gathering memories, lessons, and principles for growth. Therefore, most people will change. It's just a matter of how much and in what direction. Sometimes, I don't even notice my own changes until I make it a habit to look back. I also make it a habit to write down what I've accomplished, what I haven't, how I've changed, what bad habits I still have, and how I need to improve. I always record and store all these thoughts to reflect on my current self. I constantly compare myself to my past self because I believe that life is a journey of personal development and self-improvement, and I love that because I love exploring myself and exploring this world. I feel lucky to have friends who have been with me for over a decade. Even though each of us has our own path, no one follows the exact same direction, whether it's because of work, dating views, or relationship perspectives. We still maintain our relationships because of the goodwill and mutual sharing we have for each other. And honestly, don't be too surprised when someone leaves and doesn't walk alongside you anymore, and someone new appears, because life arranges itself according to your growth. If a relationship is to last long-term, both people need to grow together and have something in common. It could be a shared outlook on life, a shared view on love, how you communicate, or how you strive and work hard together. But if one person is actively trying to change and the other isn't, it's very difficult for those two people to grow together. Eventually, they will drift apart, whether it's in love or friendship. The changes and pace of development of each person greatly affect that relationship. That's why I often talk about girls who are extremely driven and career-focused, wanting to become financially independent, but their boyfriends disagree. He doesn't accept her changes and doesn't support her career development. Some women choose to step back, get married to such a man, return home to be a wife, mother, and cook, giving up all their passions. Others are willing to break up, end that relationship, and choose someone who is compatible, someone who is ready to enthusiastically support and help them in their work. Which of these two girls will you be, and which choice do you think will make you happier? I believe that when we love each other and are together, the important thing is that we help each other become better, not stifle each other's growth. You should be with someone who encourages and supports you to do what you dream of, what you're passionate about, and what you want to achieve in life. Especially someone who wants you to change for the better, in a way that you also desire. But if someone, in the name of love, limits your potential and tells you, you mustn't change, just stay as you are, then I don't think that's a relationship we should drag out. Because eventually, you will lose yourself in what is supposedly love, but in reality, it's just selfishness. Each of us will change and grow according to our needs in life. We will always want to be better, to have more money, to become more beautiful, to have a healthy body, smooth skin, a youthful spirit. We want to have more valuable relationships with people who make us better. And that becomes an inner motivation for us to change and grow. Some people turn that motivation into action, but others turn it into a wish, a hope, that just sits there, never knowing when it will come to fruition. The other day, during an Instagram live stream, a young girl sent me a question. She said, "I'm in love with a guy in Vietnam, but my mom has plans for me to study abroad in the UK. I'm really thinking about whether I should pursue studying abroad and what I truly want, because if I go, that love will effectively be gone. I can't do a long-distance relationship. I have to choose between two things, him or my studies. I deeply understand your difficulties. It's hard enough to find someone you love, let alone someone who loves you back, right? But I believe that all relationships need to develop in parallel with your own individual growth. You cannot stop all your desired plans for someone else. If I had to choose, I would definitely still follow my passions and dreams. When I was young, I thought that studying and self-development were the most important things. I couldn't abandon all my youthful passions just to preserve a high school sweetheart relationship. Because, truthfully, if two people love each other enough, they can absolutely embark on that journey of growth together. You could study abroad together or wait for each other to return. I know it's hard, not easy at all, but it's also a true test of your love, a challenge to see if it's truly meant for you. Haven't you heard the saying that when many things in life don't work out, it's because the universe is helping you? Sometimes, when things don't work out, it's the universe giving you a signal to reevaluate all the issues in your life. I believe a good signal is when you feel happier, when you feel you are discovering your own worth, striving to live the life you desire, what you love, and are supported and loved. Those are good signs. But if someone makes you think so much about giving up this or that, or even makes you lose yourself, then perhaps it's time to take a closer look at that relationship, and at yourself too. Starting from the age of 18, I truly began to deeply feel and experience many real-life experiences, especially concerning relationships. Many times, I felt sad, disappointed, standing at difficult crossroads, but ultimately, I still chose my rationality and never stopped moving forward, never stopped striving to get closer to the happy life I desired. And today, being here, I feel proud of those decisions. I deeply cherish having chosen to trust myself and move forward. Perhaps you are currently standing at life's turning points, facing big decisions that will change your life. But San hopes that no one will stand by and stop you from following that path, just because they want to keep you by their side, instead of letting you grow and truly live the life you desire. Of course, this is assuming you're on a righteous path. If you're doing something illegal and your family stops you, that's a different story. But of course, I wouldn't talk about that. We're only talking about pure dreams and the values people want to share, wanting to become greater, better, to achieve more, instead of being just someone's girlfriend, or someone's wife, or someone's mother. And honestly, don't rush to label yourself or define what you'll be, because you might just become someone you never thought you'd be. Look at me now. My hair is dyed a silvery white color. I don't even know what color it is, but it's almost white. It was bleached twice in about 5 hours, a hair color I've never had before. After that, to complement the look, I got really long cat-eye nails, also in a slightly milky white tone. These are all things I used to hate. I didn't like them at all. But for some reason, in a moment, I wanted to refresh my life a bit. Maybe I won't like it and I'll go back to my normal black hair when I get tired of it. But anyway, I'm still young and I want to do what I like. I don't know yet what direction I want to change in, but I know it's something that excites me and I want to experience it. And I think in the coming time, I'll probably try a few more colors until I get bored and go back to a darker shade. It's worth trying, worth experiencing, guys. This is the summer to ignite, to renew myself, to refresh my inner energy. Now my skin is a bit tanner after traveling for 3 weeks straight, getting quite dark. My hair is platinum or maybe a smoky gray, and I have long nails and eyelash extensions. It's exactly the kind of image I never, ever thought I'd become, a bit more European-styled, you could say. Before, I always preferred a more innocent, Korean-inspired look, with pink cheeks and softly curled, feminine hair. But now I like this style. A little change, what's wrong with that, right? It's not just externally, but my mindset about life has also changed a lot. Recently, I've become less hot-tempered. I can control myself much more than before, even compared to just 1 or 2 years ago. There's been a very clear change. At that point, we no longer live just for ourselves. We live for each other. That's a huge difference between being an adult and being a child. But thinking of each other doesn't mean you forget yourselves. You still have your own lives. You learn to be more considerate and share more with others. But that doesn't mean your potential, your dreams, and aspirations are suppressed because you have to compromise with someone. What you should do is meet people who are on the same wavelength as you, who have a similar outlook on life, and who grow at a similar pace as you. If possible, we can slow down a bit to walk together. If your pace of development is faster than the person you're walking with, or if the person next to you is moving too fast, you can ask them to wait for you a bit. But you can never drag someone along who doesn't want to move. If they're slower than you can try to slow down and wait for each other. But if you yourself don't want to move forward, it's very difficult for anyone to tell you that your life can change. It's very difficult. Everything lies in your hands, within your capabilities. San hopes that you won't limit your growth and change. Especially, see it as a natural and inevitable thing. If we don't change for a long time, then will we forever remain children? Many people are 35 or 40 years old, but when you talk to them, you still feel they don't have respect for you. Yet there are children who are only 7 or 8 years old who already know how to address people politely and respectfully. Life will provide people who show you how to change for the better, for example, by pointing out the issues you're facing because they want you to be better. But not everyone is that lucky, so sometimes we should take the time to look back at ourselves, at your current relationships, at whether your life is stable, and how you will change it to be more positive, better, and happier, or in a way that feels natural and desired by you. Look back at everything and pay attention to the small details in your life, how people treat you or how you treat others. And don't think that you can't change yourself. Don't think that if you're lazy, you'll never be diligent or that you'll never become fluent in a foreign language just because you don't feel you have a knack for it. Don't limit yourself in anything. You can try, just keep trying. You can't be good instantly. It means just keep trying little by little. Before, I used to think I couldn't float because I was extremely afraid of water. I never dared to go into the water, even though I'm from Ha Tin, my beloved coastal city. Since I was little, I lived right by the beach at my grandparents' house, and in the summer, my grandpa would often take me to the beach. Many times, he tried to teach me to swim by dropping me into the water, and I was absolutely terrified. I never dared to swim in the sea after that. But a few years ago, when I discovered life jackets, when I put on a life jacket and saw myself floating on the water, I felt quite safe after all. It really wasn't as scary as I thought. From then on, I felt more comfortable. I could go to the beach with a life jacket, and gradually I learned to swim. I still don't know how to swim perfectly, mind you. I can only swim one breath, then I have to surface, guys. But anyway, it's a huge change. Because before, I was convinced I could never float since I was extremely afraid of water. But I also had support from those around me to lessen that fear of water. And in the future, I want to learn to swim more professionally and skillfully. I think I'll definitely have to accept that my skin will get much darker. I'm postponing it a bit right now because my bleached hair shouldn't be in the pool too much, even though I have a pool at home. But anyway, overcoming my fear of water, or the self-prejudice that I couldn't swim, is also a huge step in my development. More recently, I've gradually shed some of my self-prejudices, like thinking I couldn't do certain things, or how I asterisk should asterisk be, or who I asterisk should asterisk love, or who I asterisk should asterisk meet. I'm much more open now. I feel like just try it, just experience it, just meet people, talk to them. Who knows, things might not be as we think, and often they aren't. So, San wants you not to confine yourselves to any particular way of thinking. Just try to experience life more and learn to change. It will be better if we have our own vision and mission. That will help you avoid straying from your initial trajectory in that change. What is the change guiding you towards? What do you want to do? What kind of person do you want to become? Who do you want to help? These visions and missions, you should have consistency with them. It means your true self should strive to go in the direction you believe is best, not changing in a way that makes you worse, makes you more indifferent, makes you disregard relationships, and only focus on yourself. San does not support that. Instead, I believe that, for example, I always want to be better so I can also improve the relationships around me. I can share more good things, so I will follow that path even if there are many difficulties. I will just keep going, keep doing what I do. At first, I was criticized, scolded, talked about, but I just kept focusing on that, just changing my methods so that I could become more complete every day, my content more engaging every day, and my image brighter and more suitable. And so I continue to pursue my original goal. My mission, even now, hasn't changed. I want to share with you about loving yourself and loving this life so that each of us can have a better life. When you're listening to San's podcast, that's what I want most. Perhaps here, I can bring you even just a tiny bit of motivation, joy, or sharing. Those are the things I feel extremely grateful for. I'll just keep trying to do that every day. And San truly hopes that you won't shy away from changes in life, especially changes within yourself. And choose relationships that grow with you, someone who supports that growth. Everyone changes, right? Even the person you think will love you forever who says, "I can't live without you even for a day," they will also change. Because they are focused on their own lives. They might be sad without you, but they still have to live. They still have to continue to grow, and at that point, they will have other reasons to continue. Don't be too surprised, and don't believe in anything that is forever, guys. This life is always in motion, always changing. Even the earth and sky are constantly revolving. You yourselves are growing every second, every minute, you just don't notice it. Right now, your souls can delve deeper into your growth and change and start acting on what you believe is right for your life. Thank you for listening to San's podcast today. Goodbye and see you in the next episode. Thank you for always supporting me throughout these past 5 years, from doing YouTube to now also doing podcasts. We will continue to accompany each other in the coming time. San has many things to share with you. Bye and good night.